Hey besties, it's your favorite homegirl, Kiana Rich, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Kiana, and I'm about to be your new favorite homegirl here at the Rich Life or Rich Healing podcast, or not even a podcast, here at this YouTube channel. Okay, it's not even a podcast. There's a podcast, but this is not even a podcast. But here at this YouTube channel, we heal, we grow, we glow, and we become the best versions of ourselves. We make sure that every room that we walk into, we are the richest, okay? Rich in spirit, rich in health, rich in mentality, rich in integrity. We are just the richest in the room, period, point blank. If you are returning, hey, bestie, I'm really excited to be able to do something a little bit different. Don't mind the background. I'm trying to work out the kinks on where I want to be our set place that we talk, we convene, you know, we connect with each other, all that good stuff. So by the title of this video, you should already know that we are going to talk about where the hell did my hair go, okay? We are going to be talking about why I cut my hair. You guys should already know me as your spiritual homegirl. There is a reason behind that. There's always a method to what seems like my madness. I've had so many people ask me, why did you cut your hair? Why did you cut your hair? You look so good with long hair. Why did you cut your hair? But there are a lot of valid reasons why I cut my hair. And so I figured that, you know, someone might be feeling a lot of the energetic field or a lot of the energetic frequency that I was on before I cut my hair. And so I figured that I would make this video for me to just kind of talk about what is the spiritual meaning behind hair. Why did I cut my hair? How am I feeling now that I don't have any more hair? Or I mean, I got a little something. I got a little bit of inches, but how am I feeling now that my hair is completely gone? So let's get into it. I'm gonna go and grab my glass of water. Okay, I'm gonna get my little glass of water, but make sure you grab your water, your tea, your wine, whatever time of the day that you are watching this. Make sure you grab something to hydrate your body. Make sure you have something to sip on while we sip on this tea. Okay, so let's get into it. So I have always been a woman that loves to cut her hair. Ever since I was in high school, I was always cutting my hair. If I can find some pictures of me back in the day with a short haircut, I probably have done this haircut more than once, okay? So it's not, I'm not new to this, okay? I'm true to this. But I definitely never really had a specific or really strong attachment to hair. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I feel like as you evolve, as you grow, as you become, as you step into who you're supposed to be, I think that a lot of times when it comes to your hair, you have to be willing. I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna take these off and talk to y'all. So let me just make sure my makeup is all right. I'm gonna take this off. Okay, so for me, I've never really had a really strong hold or really strong attachment when it comes to my hair. I always feel like when I go through certain stages of my life and I'm really going through a lot of rebirth, or I'm just ready to change my life, I am the type of person to cut off all the dead weight, cut out certain things, especially when I've like sit with it, I meditate on it, I think on it, or spirit tells me, whichever one. So if you guys remember, maybe about 2 years ago, I had cut my hair. Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all. At that time, I was really adamant on I wanted to see how long I can grow my hair, how long my hair can be healthy, and just like really maintain its length. And I probably got to about shoulder length after growing my hair out from having a shaved side, because I did that. So grew my hair out from having a shaved side. I was all natural. I wasn't putting any chemicals in my hair. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. And pretty much what had happened was I had gotten microlinks done. Now, when I got microlinks done, and don't get me wrong, I love Melina. I love my microlinks. Like, microlinks is what I had just before I cut this out, or just before I cut my hair. But I had the microlinks, and then I went to Jamaica. And so anyone that knows me, I don't really have any Jamaica vlogs because, to be quite honest with you guys, Jamaica is always a spiritual time for me. I'm always trying to disconnect. I'm always trying to charge up spiritually. I'm always trying to reconnect with myself, reconnect with my family, plan out what I want to do with my life. And so a lot of times I don't really have the opportunity, or not that I don't have the opportunity, but spirit never really calls me to like go and record my trip. So anyways, I unfortunately had to go to Jamaica at the time for a funeral. My uncle passed away, God rest his soul. And you know, while I went on the trip, you know, you're going in the salt water, you're going in the sea, your hair is getting, you want to make sure that you get into the crevices of your hair. You want to make sure you're washing your hair. You know, you're washing your hair properly. Like, you're doing all the things that you need to do when it comes to your hair. And unfortunately, when I got back from that trip was also, again, a like rebirth moment for me. But when I got back from that trip, timing just didn't work out for me and the hairdresser, and so she wasn't able to take the hair out when I needed the hair out. It was scratching me. I was just ready to take it out, and so I took matters into my own hands. And taking matters into my own hands meant that I was just pulling the microlinks out. And so in turn, I ended up like pulling out all the hair in the center of my head. My hair was choppy. My ends were broken. The hair was split. The hair was just dead. It was dry. It was fried. Fried and died and laid it aside, baby. So I ended up just doing a really big chop, but I didn't feel the spiritual connection to that chop because I felt like I was kind of forced to cut my hair. It wasn't necessarily that I was ready. It wasn't that spirit was telling me it was time. It was that I had no other choice but to cut my hair because my hair was now completely damaged. So I mean, as disappointing, or not as disappointing, because honestly, I rolled with the punches, and I kind of just made the hairstyle be whatever the hairstyle needed to be at that time. I ran with it. I cut my hair. I went blonde. I went orange. I was doing whatever. I went pink for my solar return. Like, whatever it was, I was doing it with the short hair because I was like, you know, I'ma just rock. Like, it just gotta rock. And so, yeah, like I ended up cutting my hair, but again, not feeling the spiritual tie to it, just more so feeling like I had no choice and I had to cut my hair. And so I was going through a really tough time in the beginning of my hair because although I know that I don't have an emotional connection to my hair, I was also going through a time in my life where I wasn't really pouring into myself. I wasn't really loving myself the way that I should have been. I wasn't really pouring into myself the way that I should have been. So I was very insecure with not having something to kind of cover the fact that I had gained some weight, that, you know, my face didn't look the way that it normally did. It wasn't as chiseled. You know, like there was just a lot of things that I was using hair to cover up for. And so I had no other choice but to kind of face my insecurities because I didn't have hair to kind of like depend on or to rely on to kind of take away from everything else, right? It's like I'm a big bodied woman. Okay, I'm big bodied. And so when you have short hair, there's nothing taking away. Like, you see all of my face, you see all of my body. And so that was a very uncomfortable time for me. And then, you know, I kind of like went through the motions and I kind of just promised myself that I was going to grow my hair back because I felt very uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with being in spaces. I was uncomfortable with wearing certain clothes because I felt like it was showing more of my weight gain. I was just super uncomfortable. And so I wasn't able to really tap into my divine feminine energy when I had my short hair the first time. Again, because I mentally was not in the space to receive it. And so I grew my hair out, and then we got to this point that I'm at right now with cutting my hair. And so, as you guys know, in 2024, I worked on doing the 100 days of self-love. And while I didn't document a lot of it, I still was being very intentional with my days in terms of just pouring a little bit more into myself and what that looked and felt like. If you don't know what the 100 days of self-love is, make sure that you click the link below, or click the link if I can put it here, but make sure you click the link and you join my Patreon, because February 1st, depending on when I drop this video, February 1st, we are actually going live and we are going to build on community and get back into this 100-day self-love challenge, because as your favorite homegirl bestie, I need you to hold me accountable, and I would love to be an accountable partner for you. So make sure that you click that down below and you get on that, okay? But anyways, yeah, so I had kind of already started getting used to, you know, where my body was. I was already getting used to making better choices when it came to what I was eating, when it came to what I was doing, when it came to how I was moving. And so while I was making these better choices, it really allowed me to pour more into myself. And so I was a lot more confident than I was the first time around with my hair being cut. But then, you know, I was meditating on it again. I had long hair. I had just got my microlinks done. My hair was done. I was feeling good. I was feeling like really good about myself. And I really did love the microlinks. So again, it wasn't about that, but it was more so all the things that had transpired while I had the microlinks in. So for starters, there was a major cycle change for me. So there had been a connection that I was holding on to a lot. And when I mean holding on to this connection a lot, I was holding on to it. And this was even way before I cut my hair. This was probably 3 years in to me trying to mourn this connection that I had cut my hair the first time. And again, so it was me carrying that baggage, cutting my hair, and then on top of that, dealing with my own baggage, and then carrying into that and dealing with more. And God just kind of knew what I needed. Like, I ended up getting the closure that I needed shortly after my last self-love event. Just before Christmas, after Christmas, I had gotten the closure that I needed, and I felt like I could finally close this chapter and I can really step into being who I know that I am supposed to be. I felt like I was no longer holding on to that energy. I was no longer having a lot of question marks on top of my head. And don't get me wrong, I'm a firm believer that when it comes to like healing and when it comes to closure, silence sometimes is closure. But when you're a spiritual being and you can feel very connected to someone, and even when you do all the cord cutting rituals and you do all of those other things, it's just like spirit needs to put their eye on the person to make sure that the person is still going to be well off without me, and I can still be well off without them. And so once I got that kind of opportunity to have that closure, I started feeling a lot different about myself. And it wasn't like, again, like this energy was something that was making me question or not be confident in myself. It was just more so that this energy, this cycle closed, and I could feel like, no, like you are exactly who you said you are. You can do exactly what you said you did. You know, all this residual energy where you were asking yourself, well, why did this person leave? Well, why did this person not want to communicate with me? Well, why, you know, like just all those whys. And I had done the work, but I don't know. It was a weird situation. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to that. But once I saw the person, it was like, damn, like, yeah, I'm over you. Like, I'm over it. I'm over the situation. Like, we could be friends. We could be partners. That's cool. If you want to, like, apologize, we could be friends, and that's cool. But aside from that, nah, it's a dub. So that's kind of the energy that I felt in that sense. And then it was kind of also just like I got a lot of spiritual downloads. It was just like, in order for you to become this version of yourself that the divine has set in stone for you, you got to let go of certain things. And so I just felt like there was a lot of stagnant energy still in my hair. There was a lot of stagnant energy. I didn't feel like, you know, again, because it wasn't me that initially made the change of wanting to cut my hair the first time, I don't feel like it did the spiritual ritual, or it didn't cut the spiritual ties that I needed it to cut, because I physically wasn't ready. That is like one thing that I will say. Like, I always recommend that, like, every decade or so, cut your hair. Like, I'm not saying to go as like low as Pixie, but I am saying that if you have like very long hair, the longer the hair is, the more energy that it's maintaining. And you have to also understand that your crown is one of the most sacred parts of your body, is one of the most sacred parts of your chakra system. Yes, the root chakra is very important, but your crown chakra is like where your third eye is where a lot of times when spiritual attacks are being placed onto you, they come to the crown. You might find that, like, you know, you're being spiritually attacked and it comes up in your dreams. You're spiritually attacked, you have a lot of headaches, you're forgetful, your mind is self-sabotaging. Like, your crown, your crown holds a lot of energy, and it holds energy that is way more past the other spiritual parts of your body. And so you might not notice it, but okay, like for example, you want to make sure that the people who are touching your hair are touching your hair with good intention and are also in a good mental space to do your crown, to do your hair. And this is for men or women. Like, this doesn't make a difference. Your barbers, your hairdressers, your beauticians, anything that has to do with your crown, because again, like I said, your crown is one of the most sacred and delicate parts spiritually on your body. You have to make sure that you're keeping up with your spiritual routine. And so one thing that I had noticed from the first time that I cut my hair up until the second time was I was going to hairdressers that didn't love their job. I had maybe one or two, maybe 2 or 3 experiences with a hairdresser or with hairdressers that did not like what they were doing. They did not like their job. Their job was just a monetary value for them, and that was it. That was all. So they're doing my hair. They hate standing up and doing my hair because they're not passionate about it. They don't love what they're doing. So all that negative energy is also transferring into my crown. I pay attention to how I feel after beauticians touch me, whether it's my lashes, whether it's my nails, whether it's my hair, especially my hair. And so I was going through a period of time where I was getting braids, but I couldn't find a braider that I really, really liked that was doing the braids aesthetically the way that I liked them to look. So I had went to one hairstylist, and the one hairstylist that I went to, she had made it very clear that she didn't enjoy braiding hair, that she was only braiding hair because it was paying her bills. And unfortunately, she had already started my hair, but that negative energy then transferred over to me, right? And again, like I said, this negative thought now is now seeping into my frequency. It's now seeping into, my thought patterns throughout the day. It's seeping into how I maintain things throughout the day. And so that impacted me. Then I went to another hairdresser, and the other hairdresser that I went to, it wasn't that she didn't like doing hair. I just felt like she didn't want to do my hair. And I felt like there was maybe like a lot of things spiritually or energetically that was happening in her life. But again, she was doing it based on the monetary gain. And so because she was doing my hair with the monetary gain, when my hair was done, it was like I was always sad. I was always negative. I was always snappy. I was always being this. I was always being that. And so just make sure that you're paying attention to who is putting their hands in your head and what you feel like. Now, when I did my microlinks, I did my braids again after that. And when I did my braids after that, I went to a hairdresser that I normally had gone to, but I just never remembered or thought about her for some reason doing my hair. Now, when she did my braids, I felt so confident. I felt so good. I was like, yeah, like there's nothing y'all can tell me, okay? I loved my braids. I felt good about myself. I felt good mentally. There was no negative energy surrounding me. Now, unfortunately, the other residual energies were already there, that even though this hairdresser did my hair with good intent, the energy was already on me. It was already on me. There was nothing that I could have changed at that point. And then I went and I did my microlinks. And again, I love when I go to hairdressers and they make me feel good. And I'm not just talking about appearance wise. I'm talking about spiritually, mentally. They make me feel good because they genuinely want to do my hair and they genuinely love what they're doing. And so when I did my microlinks, I love the microlinks, but then I decided impromptu that I was going to Jamaica. And then I went back into this vicious cycle of trying to find someone to braid my hair. And it was just like, I ain't got the time for this. Like, I feel good. I know I'm that girl. I know that I feel good about myself. I know I feel good about where I am and what's to come and the energy that I'm in. So yeah, I'm gonna cut my hair and I'm gonna force myself to love the woman that is looking at y'all right in the camera. And not even force, because I feel like I've been doing the work, but I am going to encourage myself to love the woman that I am, to love myself without the hair, to step into my grown woman era. Okay, I'm turning 32 this year. And it's all about being in my grown woman era. It's all about being about that business. And also the woman who cuts my hair, Valerie, I genuinely love her. Okay, I genuinely, my light died, but we gonna keep going. But I genuinely love Valerie. Valerie always makes me feel good. She always makes me feel seen, heard, valued. She teaches me how to maintain my hair when I'm not with her. I just love that experience. And so yeah, that is pretty much why I cut my hair. But I just wanted to come on here and make a really quick video. Y'all are just gonna have to bear with me because the light's dying. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna switch it up. Okay, your besties always prepared. We are always prepared. I forgot I had this light, and I love this light down, but I broke it, and that's the unfortunate part. But yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I came on here and talked about why exactly I cut my hair, because I definitely had a lot of people asking me what was the reason behind why I cut my hair. And sometimes I just want to let go of the crosses. Like, sometimes I want to let the crosses go. Like, sometimes, you know, it was just too much energy, and I just wanted to get rid of it. So if you are feeling like no matter how many spiritual baths you do, no matter how much prayer you do, no matter how much cleansing spells you do, no matter how much whatever it is that you do, and you are still feeling like the stagnant energy is on you, the stagnant energy of procrastination is on you, laziness is on you, whatever it is that you feel like is on you, I'm going to encourage you to cut your hair. Okay, I'm going to encourage you to look at your crown and cut your hair and treat your hair and pour into your hair. Now, I'm not saying that you need to cut your hair in a pixie cut like mine, but I am recommending that you at least do a trim and you at least cut a good amount of your hair off. Don't just do like a little baby trim where it's like you're barely cutting the ends. Like, you need to cut the energy off, and you need to be very intentional. You know, cutting your hair is a sacred ritual. It is a ritual. You want to make sure that when you're cutting your hair, you're setting the intention of what it is that you're cutting, what it is it that you're releasing, what is it that you're letting go, so that you can allow yourself to be in a much better position, and you can allow yourself to cut your hair and then step into becoming the better version of yourself. So I hope that this video answered any of the questions that you may have in regards to the energy that your hair holds and why I cut my hair. If you have some more questions, be sure to drop them in the comment box below, and also drop in the comment box what else you want your girl to talk about, because we're here. We're here. TikTok is playing games. We're here. And I'm super excited to be able to just tap in with you guys and do what feels good to me. And this feels good. And so, yeah, if you made it all the way to this video, make sure that you drop some, I don't know how to do this. Did I do it right? Make sure you drop some pink hearts. And yeah, I'm super excited for the next video. Bye.